Hello everyone watching at home. Welcome to the final round of the Adelaide Eternal Vintage Challenge for 2019 August, I think it is, just before the restrictions. I am Sarven McLinton. In the booth with me is Beckett Wolfe.
G'day guys.
Beckett is on the right and Socrates Stavropoulos is on the left. So we've got a bit of an Adelaide Eternal mirror match, but not actually mirror match in decks.
No, it's not. Shall we check out Sock's list? Sock's on Merfolk. This was the first deck I ever saw when I first heard about Vintage, and I YouTubed it. This was the first ever deck I saw.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
Good. It
I
blew my
think it's the
mind.
same as me.
Silver Gill Adept. It's a 2/1. It's a Merfolk, and you draw a card, and you've got so much mana and Vintage.
But you play it
basically
on turn one.
free.
They're just like Island, Mox Sapphire, Silver Gill Adept, and you're like, whoa, that's so cool. And the next turn,
You draw another Silver Gill, and you can play that one.
Yeah, I remember this feeling where this was the deck to beat because it won. I don't know, 2014 or 2013. It was like one of those years, 2012 even maybe, and it won one of those big events. And then suddenly,
When did True Name get released?
it's probably 2012 or something like those
Like
lines.
True Name,
maybe.
I remember that like the deck
2013
became
maybe?
bad around the time True Name got released,
Okay.
and I was wondering if that's like True Name was they developed it to make Vintage Merfolk better.
Thinking
Like
at the time, you're like, whoa.
it's dying, and they want to give it reinvigorate it, and it just wasn't enough.
In reality, the deck itself is fundamentally an aggro deck. When you look at it, it's blue, and you go, "Wow, blue." So obviously, it's not aggro, right? No, it's actually just creatures, and then Force of Wills and Spell Piercers and
Yeah,
ways
it plays
to
like
just
a
protect
tempo
it.
deck. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
at the end of the day.
I mean, look, we're laughing. It's you got to respect it. It's powerful in its own sense that it's very, very fast. We are playing Vintage here. It is swingy. You can still get a Time Walk, Lotus, A-Call hand and just steamroll anyone on anything.
And also you got to respect the fact that Soccer's playing 3 Underground Sea and his favourite card ever, Bitter Blossom.
So you're going to say Island.
Oh yeah, Island is pretty popular for him. Bitter Blossom plus Spell Stutter Sprite. Spell Stutter Sprite's no Merfolk, but
It's not. You're right.
It counters. It's like a mental misstep with a 1/1 body. All right. Well, I'll be interested to see how this matches up against your deck. Your deck has been featured in both rounds 1 and 2. You are the king of the hill. This is a Oath combo deck, basically.
I think Sock's like 2-1 and I'm 3-0 at the moment.
Yeah.
Something like that. So he's not. This deck can perform. We'll get my deck on the screen very briefly if you just want to pause and read through it. But
basically, look at round 1.
Yeah,
round
you can look at round 2, and in round 2 we'll tell you to look at round 1. So just look at round 1.
Cascade is the deck check has Cascade. You go and cascade back to one of the previous rounds. This is Beckett with his very own Hall of Heroes player profile, and he's actually been on all of the matches now because you've been going so well.
That's what happens when you don't lose stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as a note to myself. Don't lose. So let's go down to the match. Let's see where you're at.
You know what it is though? I like. Because Vintage we don't play as much Vintage as we do the other formats.
Wait, I'll just check your hand. So you've got Emerald and Force of Will and a land and
Strip Mine.
Okay,
Seems fine.
Yeah, why not?
No, what I was going to say is I've got this deck on Moto. It's just like one of the few decks I've got on Moto that I can actually practice. So I think it's just that. I don't think Oath's particularly well positioned. I don't think it's particularly great right now. I think it's fine. I think it's always been fine, always will be fine. I've just been playing a lot of Vintage lately.
Sweet.
If you put me into a Highlander tournament right now, I don't think I'd do great because I haven't been practicing it enough. But practice makes perfect, guys.
That's it. Absolutely.
And now watch me absolutely misplay and embarrass myself in this.
Next minute. So Socrates has gone down to 6. Again, London Mulligan, 1 card goes on the bottom. So he's definitely deliberating about the hand, though. Does that mean there's not enough fish or too many fish?
I mean, this deck is so scary with Time Warp Force.
Force of Will, Spell Pierce, Cavern of
Lands.
Souls.
Maybe it's not enough threats.
Well, basically, in Merfolk, hands are unkeepable if they don't have a creature. You look at them and you go, oh yes, I've got a Force of Will, I've got a Black Lotus, I've got a Time Walk, this is going to be so good, and that's just not your game plan. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Time walk into another land? You need to have a hand with creatures in it. It's like playing a Delver deck in Legacy and keeping a hand that doesn't have any threats, no creatures at all.
That's right, and you can't transform into the sinking jet. You can't transform into the control roll as easily, can you?
No, you can't. You're fundamentally tempo deck, and you need to apply pressure. If you don't apply pressure, then game's going to be pretty much over. Also, fish in general, not exactly favoured against Oath of Druids.
No, it's a good matchup. I'll be real. It's a good matchup. He might have a fish. I'm not sure. Most of these fish are 2-mana fish, though. I mean, his 1-drop's a Deathrite Shaman, and I think that's about it. But turn 2 is like when he starts deploying something. Okay, or you have a Mox Sapphire.
Yeah, that's a good Lord of Atlantis type opener. So I'm looking. Oh, what was nothing? I don't know if you keep this hand.
I see.
Just go to 5, right?
Yeah.
Because then you could just go to
sure.
one with like Curse Catcher and Silvergill Adept and Lord of Atlantis and 2 lands. Oh, why even write it? Just chucks away the Merfolk. Don't want that in here.
Then he plays another one. I have to write it out again. Sorry about that. It's a bit rude.
Yeah, well, no other land. Yep. Well, this is going to be a pretty quick game then, I assume. Or Socrates is going to hang in there. Because one way he could win was, drawing a Bitter Blossom, mulling into a hand with something like that.
Spell Pierce. Can't remember the last time my Oath of Druids got Spell Pierce.
So this is what the new format is going to look like. Be ready, prepare your body for Spell Pierce.
I think that's a misstep back, by the way. It's a force. Yeah. He's forcing my misstep. But yeah, keep in mind, Spell Pierce is going to be better because there's less missteps to misstep back. So this is Spell Pierce on Oath. I misstep his Spell Pierce. He forces my misstep and I've forced back.
This is a really, really important kind of play to have a look at. He's pitched Silvergill Adept to the Force of Will, meaning that he had the option to play Silvergill Adept last turn. He could have maybe not had a Merfolk, but more likely he was actively thinking, I need to keep Spell Pierce up because I lose to Oath of Druids. So it's a very diligent play.
Yeah, that's right. And he would also need another blue card as well for force, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, he's fundamentally thinking like, if Oath of Druids comes out, Merfolk cannot beat this. So he just has Spell Pierce and Force of Will up, and just going to make sure that he interacts with your Oath of Druids. And he knows that you're a more of an all-in type combo deck rather than, say, some kind of control-y deck. So it's not like he's going to get punished by countering your Oath and then you go and play a Planeswalker.
Yeah, that's right. And I've just elected to just go for it. He doesn't have any pressure out, so I want to seal the deal by finding some, hitting my land drops, finding some powerful spell. If that's finding a, Time Walk or a way to get Time Walk, then it's a win on the spot. But regardless, I'm going to be able to stabilize here.
Yeah, you don't get punished for much from here. The only way you can get punished is like a Mirror Reach. Oh yeah, like I was thinking, end of turn Acol, and then he goes to his turn. Mirror Regery off a Black Lotus. Play a Curse Catcher, which taps your guy. Play 2 more Moxen, and then play Time Walk. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he could actually have.
It's game over now, to be honest.
Once I connect with Grizzlebrand, VT's surely going to seal the deal.
Yeah, for sure. VT into Time Walk, I assume, is probably your or protection.
Well, here's the thing, because I've got Oath, I've sort of got to choose between what I'm VTing for and what I'm and triggering Oath.
Oh yeah, that's
because I can give him another 1/1 and just trigger Oath again. But I think I like to just get Time Walk.
Just kind of be able to attack with Grizzlebrand twice, which is a huge advantage. All right, probably don't even need to adjust the life totals because the game is going to be so far over in a second. Right, so regrowth Time Walk, is it?
Yeah, or it could even... Yeah, it might be. I've got a massive graveyard, don't I?
Yeah.
Time Walk. Yeah.
So yeah, regress Time Walk. Yeah, that's
That'll do it.
the end. That'll do it. So looking at sideboards, this will be a lot more interesting post sideboard because Socrates has 3 Grafdigger's Cage that he can bring in. Yuxalid Jailer doesn't do anything except shut off your Memory's Journey, right? It doesn't actually shut anything else
Yawgmoth
off.
as well.
Oh, it shuts off Yawgmoth because the cards themselves have some ability? Is that
Yeah,
how
they
it
don't
works?
have flashback, but you may cast cards from you. Oh, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it does because it turns off the abilities of the cards, right? So it doesn't actually shut off.
He might also be inclined to put in Flusterstorm. It's sort of always awkward because the spell you want to counter is
It's a
not
spell piercer.
is not.
Target,
Yeah,
not a
exactly.
Flusterstorm
It's
target.
the druid itself, and it feels super awkward having, your sideboard card in, and then they play the thing that their deck does, and you can't counter it because you've sided in this card. But if we get into a control battle, it's probably pretty good.
There's definitely a way that he overboards here, and he brings in 4 Leyline of the Void, and you go, if I'm flipping my graveyard cards into my graveyard, it means my Oath is out. If my Oath is out, it means I have a really, really big nasty boy on the table, which is the thing you have to answer. And mono blue or blue black does not have a way to answer a 6/6 flyer or 7/7 flyer.
Yeah, that's
lifelink.
true. I mean, they can largely ignore it if it's not Grizzlebrand because
They can go
they've
around
got
it
the
with Island Walk.
and they can potentially race it.
So this is what you're taking out.
Yeah.
So Misstep, Seal, Lotus Petal, and 2 Mindbreak traps. And
I
you
think
take
it's.
out the traps.
I've only got 1 trap,
Oh, okay.
so it was maybe Mindbreak trap, something else. But yeah, he's got Cavern of Souls, so I don't really love counter spells. He doesn't have that many 1 drops
technically
either.
exile it. You don't actually have to counter it with Mindbreak trap.
That's true. But I don't want counter.
When does he cast 3 of them on 3 spells on the same turn? So you're gonna have to be hard casting that, and if it's hard casting,
and so I'm bringing
you know what
in
you
1
wanna do.
Assassin's Trophy, 1 Abrupt Decay, and maybe how many did I take out?
5
cards. Maybe I'll bring in Force of Vigor because I'm expecting
Grafdigger's Cage.
But I don't think I'd bring in all of them. So maybe Flusterstorm.
Yep, I think that's fair. If I'm in Sock's position, obviously all 3 cages are coming in. I think 4 Leyline of the Void is overboarding because then you're just going to have a really poor clock because you don't have enough way to do things.
I think 3 Grafdiggers and keep it simple, and maybe a Flusterstorm if there's something you particularly hate. But
I think you still bring in both Flusterstorms just because they protect your counter spells. So like he's going to play a Grafdigger's Cage. You're going to Force of Will it or Mental Misstep it, and he Flusterstorms a Force of Will or Mental Misstep. So I think those 5 cards are fine. And
probably want to cut Bitter Blossom as well.
Yep.
I mean, Bitter Blossom could arguably chump block for days on the big boys. But it's
it takes out the Jailer. Right?
When you're playing a 2-mana enchantment that makes a 1/1, and I'm playing a 2-mana enchantment that makes a Grizzlebrand, it feels a little bit one-sided.
Yeah. He takes out the Jailer and he takes out some number of critters.
Like Spellstutter Sprites.
Well, yeah. Look, if the Spellstutter Sprite can counter an Oath, but he needs to have a Mutavault out, which he has none in the deck. So, yeah, cut the sprites.
So Show and Tell, Landmox, the Grizzlebrand in hand, Preordain, and Balance. So it's actually a really strong hand.
So that was fast. I saw the Merfolk of the Pearl Trident Lord guy, and I saw a land, and the rest was way too fast for me.
But my hand is pretty strong. I don't have white for Balance just yet. I play for Forbidden Orchid, 1 Mana Confluence, and then Mox Pearl, Lotus Petal, Black Lotus. So there's a lot of ways you can generate the white mana. But I guess I'm probably all in on that Show and Tell.
Yeah, that's it. So, what's the worst that can come out of his deck? He plays a True Name
Lord of
Nemesis, and you
Atlantis.
go,
True Name,
whatever. Yeah. If your life total is low enough, it can be scary.
And there's Grafdiggers.
So there's often times with Grafdigger's Cage where you don't play it till turn 2, because what you do is you Flusterstorm back up for the Grafdiggers, and then once it's out, you can be a little bit more confident that you have to only play around Assassin's Trophy or something.
So I've got Misstep here, and I was umming and erring because keep in mind I just said I'm all in on Show and Tell. But like if Show and Tell gets countered or whatever, there's a good chance we'll fight over this as well.
Yeah,
I might be able to eke out a Force of Will.
I in Sock's place, I just wouldn't play the Cage because if he's got no protection, it's the one thing that he needs.
He could be
into
scared
the
of
board.
like Loda's Oath Time Warp.
That's like such magical Christmas land that
It
we
is
just can't play
Christmas,
around it,
isn't it?
right? Yeah. That's like just let the jingle bells ring and let your opponent enjoy
I can just see you getting angry. Like, let the jingle bells ring.
all Grinch-like.
Your opponent's like, what?
Yeah, so I think I keep the cage until I have protection. So that could be turn to cage with Flusterstorm up, or wait till you draw. Wait until the oath is out and then do it, because you've had more time to actually find your protection for it. Because when it gets countered, it's so bad for the fish player.
Yeah.
Because they just can't win. You just can't win through, an Oath of Druids.
So how awkward is it preordaining when you're trying to hit your third land? Because you want that, like, you see it and you're like, this is the card I need.
But not the one I deserve, right?
I think, especially when there's like Force of Wills in there as well, you're like, I also want a Force of Will to protect it, but I can't have both. So what do I do?
So here's the first part of the equation.
Silvergill Adept.
Silvergill Adept with a Lord of Merfolk.
The card that got me into Vintage, I'm going to say.
Wow. That's
maybe
powerful. It's a very colourful card, don't you reckon?
It's beautiful.
Really, really nice, like, kind of pinks and oranges. Okay, now this is kind of Doom written really, really big letters on the inside of Sock's eyelids when Vampiric Tutor gets cast at the end of turn and your Grafdigger's Cage got counted.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. Is like, oh, do I just go for my main game plan and get Forbidden Orchid or Oath or something, and then just say Show and Tell's my backup plan? Because like I'm inevitably going to hit 3 mana, and I'm inevitably going to be able to drop a show and tell.
No Fear of Days here.
No Fear of Days.
No Fear of Days.
I'm a combo deck.
Sock doesn't play Days.
He doesn't.
But traditionally, the Fish deck has played Days, which has been so contentious because in Vintage, Days is bad because Moxen exist. So there's no Days here. But no fear. Hashtag no fear. From Beckett.
Yeah, it's the Show and Tell is very powerful. As you can see, I won game 1 with it. I won game 2 with it. I'm about to drop a Grizzlebrand again.
Wow.
Like, it's been really good, and there's only one in the deck.
Yeah.
And it makes my hand, like, it makes bad hands where I've got the demon in hand good as well. So it's a real comeback card as well, which I really like coming back from behind. But it is awkward because you've got to decide, like, do I go for my main game plan or this? Ternan Nemesis hang
exactly
out.
The thing. That's exactly the thing that we said. Like, what's the worst that can happen? The literal worst that can happen is Ternan Nemesis, and it's not bad.
Watch this, Sarv. He actually.
Well, he's got Island Walk.
He's got Island Walk
with the Master of the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You're in heaven.
Swing for 7.
Swing
I got a block.
This looks like an Island Walk.
Okay,
nice.
7. I'm like, well, that's fine. I mean, I got a Grizzlebrand, right? Like,
they say Island's the strongest land.
No.
But actually, right here, it's the weakest land.
It's
you
true.
You kind of wish you had no islands.
And I'm like, oh, do I try and find 2 strip lines? And I'm like, yep, swing's correct. No doubt in my mind.
Yes.
You have to swing, right? But then I'm like, do I pay 7 or like try to time walk? But if I pay 7 and he plays... If I pay 7, I got a 9, right?
Yeah.
And then he's actually got 9 on board.
But what if he goes like Lotus, True Name, Time Walk?
So I can't pay 7.
You can't.
He's got Force of Balance.
You just have to attack and gain life.
So it's just the 7/7
he's got the
life
force.
linker.
He's even got the force. Wow, this is actually not the shellacken that I thought you were going to be given to.
I know. What's a shellacken?
It's a kind of treatment process that you do for like wood and the like.
Oh, okay. It's not like related to Kraken.
No, it's not. You don't release the shellacken. So
New creature type, even deeper than Krakens.
The denizen of the deep. This is denizen of the deepest trenches. So if there's a time walk here.
So 1, 2, 3. I'm doing some maths myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Do you have a force for the time walk? Here it comes. Here it comes.
It's scary, right?
It is terrifying, right?
I've connected with a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, I should be winning.
I connected with like a turn 2 Grizzlebrand because I had a Mox, right? So I like played a turn 2 Grizzlebrand and connected with it.
Okay, 2 mana.
Here we go.
What else could be 2 mana? It's Time Walk. If it was Time Walk, he'd just jam it. But maybe he's worried that you got Flusterstorm in hand. In which case, he'd still play it because you have to, right?
But why?
Ooh, DT. So
why do you have to? Because I'm not going to pay 7 life.
hmm,
You're still going to win, right? If you resolve Time Walk, you do
right.
win. He's doing. It's just delaying the game out.
So
You're tanking 7 life. That's
what does
it.
he do? He DTs for...
I think he DTs for. Oh no, we talked about this.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you've got 10 power on the board, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna go up to 13, down to 3, up to 10, down to 0. So technically, like he's got lethal. No, because he will die. He will die to you attacking on the second time. So Time Walk is the thing you have to
Yeah,
get.
you get Time Walk, and then you get to swing 10, right?
Maybe you don't. Do you get another Lord? No, it still doesn't change anything.
You get Time Walk. You swing 10. I gain 7 back up to 13, and then you swing another 10.
Yeah. So it's just too easy. It's too easy. We're looking for easy, harder lines. So it's definitely Time Walk, but like he doesn't have Mirror Regery, right? Because if there was a Regery, and you can use the Regery to tap the Grizzlebrand, but that doesn't do anything, right? It's still Island Walk.
Yeah, I'm doing the maths.
Yep.
But I have to swing because he's got
no choice.
Island Walk. So
yeah. So you take him to 5, and so he wins either with a Lord or a Time Walk. Literally, either of those things win the game, right? Because he has 10 power, but if he plays another Lord, he has 13 power.
Yeah.
So pretty much, he's got about 7? He's got 8 outs, but he DT'd, so he obviously has the out in hand. Yeah, Lord. There you go. And that's lethal. It's literal exactsies. Yep, doing the due diligence to math it out. Oh.
You know what he DT?
But he's got Force.
You know what he DT for?
Force of Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he already had the win in hand.
He ripped the win. That's what he says.
Oh.
That's what he says. But I reckon he's just trolling me.
That's so good.
I was like,
so
why
good.
wouldn't you just DT for the thing that wins? He's like, because I needed to protect it because I knew you had Force.
But the Force of Will does nothing. I see. So the Force of Will by itself does nothing because if he just draws a land, he just loses because he gets killed by the Grizzlebrand.
I think he was just trolling me.
Yeah, he's really just trolling.
And I can't pay 7 life obviously to draw because then it's lethal anyway. So he gets me for exactsies. How crazy is that? He races a Grizzlebrand that connected twice.
That's so good. So we were literally joking about this deck.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes ago, we were saying how this is so outdated.
That's without a Time Walk as well.
Laughing at it. Yeah.
He didn't play Time Walk. He didn't play A-Call.
So he played no power.
He played no power.
He played a legacy deck just then.
And he crushed.
He literally didn't even draw a piece of power. No Moxen even. No Lotus. Yeah. No Time Walk. He literally played a legacy deck against you on 1.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Crazy.
That's satisfying, right? It's so satisfying. So in some ways, the show and tell backfired.
I mean, it's truth, you know?
Yeah.
Because if it's an Oath of Druid, then it flips, because you're
But you don't give him a true name nemesis.
True, although it's a turn later.
True. I think you're about true name nemesis.
It's a turn later, but arguably I could have gotten 1 extra demon. I could have gotten an extra demon, but it would have been... But I'm struggling to do the maths now, because then I wouldn't have connected with Grizzlebrand the turn that I needed to stabilise my life total.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I would have flipped Runeskull and done my Time Walk thing, though.
Done your time.
Yeah.
You've done your time now. You're relegated into the corner. This is the first one you've lost. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think I lost to Michael Hearn game 1, did I? No.
No, you 2-0'd round 1, you 2-0'd round 2. I stole a game off you in round 3 that's invisible. The round 3 we just don't even publish it because no one ever wants to watch that monstrosity of Carnforge again. And I went to the dark side and I played it. And so I stole one off you then. But literally on camera, this is the only time that
Right.
you've lost. That's
and against
how,
a very good matchup.
yeah.
And
You
with
should-
a very
like, you
good
should have
hand.
won, right?
A very
Like,
good hand.
You're looking at it on paper. If anyone said, would I like to be the Oath deck,
Yeah.
which triggers off creatures being in play, or do I want to be the creature deck that only has
With,
one
like,
way to win,
with
creatures
a good,
in play?
with a good opener
Yeah.
as well.
And Sock had a bad opener, right? Like his cage got countered, and then he played a fair game. 1 land, then 2 land, and a fish.
Yeah.
Then 3 land and another fish. No, actually, he never got 3 land.
He can't help it if I give him a free true name nemesis. That's nothing unfair about putting in your true name.
Yeah, a literal 3-1, right? And in Vintage, no one's going to, 3-1, broken.
It was just literally a 3-1 unblockable.
Yeah.
Which, what is that card? Light Seeker?
Yeah.
Did you play that in Modern?
It could have been 3-1 with no text.
Now that's a pretty good hand.
Because it's given
That's-
Island Walk. Okay, how do you lose this game?
I don't think
That's the question.
I don't think you do. What I've got: Acol, Lotus, Oath of Druids, and,
Library.
and
If you want to go the
and the
library
awkward
plan.
just in case he doesn't play his creatures, and the library plan as well as backup.
Like, you're spoiled. You're spoiled for a choice there. That's,
Yeah.
If plan 1 fails, you just A-call back into library and you're golden, right? Like, that's just
Although
how...
easier said than done. Can you A-call back into library if you go land?
Lotus.
Land plays you down to 6. Lotus plays you down to 5. Crack Lotus for Oath down to 4, and then
the next turn, you'll still be 1 off because you'll go
7.
up
Yeah,
to
you'll
7
be
1
one
off the
you
library.
will be. So you need another.
So I think you lead with the library then. No, because you're on the play. You can't lead with the library. Leading with the library is bad when you're on the play.
I think I just
Delaying
go for it.
You just go for it.
Even if I'm delayed
I
a
agree.
turn, I'm
You go
still
for it 'cause
resolving
you
an
got
A-call.
You're resolving an A-call and
I
Noth.
guess we'll find out what I do.
Yeah, let's see. See what happens.
He's got a fair bit of interaction between 2 Foster Storms, 4 Force, and Spell Pierces. 2 Spell Pierces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 Mystic.
We've got an ample amount of interaction.
Yeah.
How likely is the next level tech? He brings in a single Hercules Recall because he's got 1 free slot in the deck from cards he's cut, and then you go to Abrupt Decay his Grafdigger's Cage, and he Hercules Recalls to target himself. Mind blown.
Pretty bad since most of the time I Abrupt Decay in the upkeep with
Yeah.
with the Oath trigger on the stack.
Yeah, that's don't have to worry about Cage when you bounce it in your upkeep. That's some never comes back down, hey. Alright.
So
So
Twark,
he's got
Silvergill, Force, Land. He multi 5 there.
one of them's a Cavern of Souls, I think.
Yeah.
So
It's decent multi 5, although I think he's lacking just. I think he's just lacking that.
is it lacking that Lotus start where he
Yeah.
kind of goes like Lotus 2 Lords or something?
Yeah.
Where he just goes so far ahead.
And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, he's a fair deck, right?
he's very fair. This is like the definition of fair for Vintage. And sure, people go, you've got an Ancestral Recall, but you've got a Black Lotus. This is still fair. If you're using those cards to create a 2/1, that's basically like have you ever played the Chandelar game? And in the Chandelar game, you go around and you collect your cards, and then you cast you got this deck with Black Lotus, Mox Ruby, A-Call in it. And how are you killing? Are you killing with like a Mesa Pegasus and some 1/1 band?
I don't know the Chandelar game.
Okay. You haven't lived yet.
So I lead with Acol here. So I've got blue floating, and that's because I want to like find out what my options are before and also bait out a counter spell.
Yep, so he pitches Time Walk to Force.
Yeah, and now
then
here I've got
here's the
Forbidden Orchid with Oath.
Yeah, alright, he just can't beat this now. He's got a sick rip Grafdigger's Cage. Alright, that's the literal card he needs to draw. He just can't beat this otherwise. I mean, you've just done a busted turn 1, and he's done a fair Force of Will, and now he's going to play like 1 land, go. That's so fair. He's the Snow White of the ball that is Vintage.
Because I could Lotus there and play Oath, but like I'd rather lead with the Acol and then try to find Predator or something, and I get my little trigger.
Yep, seems fair.
So what I'm looking for when I'm flipping is Time Walk, Memory's Journey, Yawgmoth's Regrowth.
Time Walk.
They're the cards, and Yawgmoth's was already flipped. They're the cards I'm really looking at Some people, the amount of times I start flipping, and you keep flipping, and people are like, oh,
he's
he's
gonna
going to
mill
deck
himself.
himself. I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's
literally,
literally,
it's never
just,
happened.
it's not a, it's not a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's not a probability.
Oh,
Right.
It's just not going to happen. So I'm pretty sure Time Walk wasn't flipped there.
Time Walk was flipped.
Oh, was it?
But Memory's Journey was not. Yawgmoth's Will was flipped.
So that's pretty bad for me, actually, because I want Time Walk to obviously be in the library, and this is what I mean by my combo usually works, but like it's not. There's no like guarantee.
95% chance,
because
right?
Time Walk needs to be in the bin, and Memory's Journey has to be in the library for it to not work, and I don't have enough mana to search up Regrowth or Yawgmoth. So it can happen.
Yeah.
But, like, just, it's unlikely. So I get
Regrowth
there.
So what do? Regrow the Lotus because you don't just...
Or Yawgmoth's Will, because it's going to be an insane next turn.
For the next turn?
Yeah. Because, like, look how big that graveyard is.
Yeah, you definitely... The Yorg Will next turn is...
Time Walk.
I get Time Walk, okay.
Because I guess if I was going to Yawgmoths, I'd just be Time Walking anyway.
This is just cheaper.
But yeah, this is just a cheap way to do it. So I
don't
don't
need
have
to win more.
Well, it prevents me from needing a third mana, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think your third mana is library.
Yes.
Right?
Even if he plays... I know his Time Walk's gone, so... If he plays,
it's not scary,
even if he plays very, very strong now, like with a Lotus, I'm pretty sure I can still race.
Yeah. You know how people say they just never counter the Lotus? The one time I think it is almost always a strong consideration of countering Lotus is against Merfolk. Because the ways that they can beat you is turn 1, Lotus, land, or Cavern of Souls, like that, and they go fish, like 2 Lord Fishes, Fish Lords. When they've got the 2 fish fingers out, the speed of their turn 1 play, like when they go to turn 2 and their attacks so fast, and also you often can't counter the things that they play once the cavern's down. So
yeah, no, it is a good
consideration for those at home who haven't played against fish. So Silvergill Adept, very, very fair here. Getting to draw a card. But it's probably largely moot. He's thinking maybe you could
Memory's Journey.
Yeah, Memory's Journey's in, so you're not going to... There it is. So you're on, what, like 5 cards left or something? Yeah. You can't lose from that. You still can't lose.
Yeah.
It's more than 0 cards, and even if it was 0 cards, you can still put 3 cards back into your deck with Memory's Journey.
It's not ideal because it makes my Rune Scarred, like, worse and all this jazz, but, like, at the end of the day, they're not going to beat 2 6/6 flies with the perfect card in my hand.
And whatever no Time Walk in their graveyard. No Time Walk in their deck at all. So they can't even draw to that out. So that looks like 3 cards.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3 cards after I draw. Because I get to search with Rune's card.
Yeah, I see. 2 cards remaining now. 2 cards left,
yeah.
Alright. So you've searched with 3 card deck.
He says I don't want to cut it, and I say yeah, but I know what they both are, so, so just cut it because it makes a difference.
Or you can opt to not cut it because then technically, either way, they have to have control over it.
Time Walk.
It was so good if he had some kind of cheeky little A call U.
Yeah, and now I get to Memory's Journey back, Time Walk and Regrowth, and whatever something else.
So just imagine. You've got this. You've got your tapped out. You've got your Memory's Journey on the stack. Putting your Time Walk, Regrowth, etc. back into the deck, and he goes in response. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Manamorphose. Blue. Yeah. A-Call you. And then you go counter it, and it goes Flusterstorm with the last blue. Jeez. That is the only way that Sock could win here.
It's true.
We found a line.
I mean, he can A-Call me in his turn. Oh, wait, he's not getting a turn. That's what Time Walk does.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So, Time Walk again.
Here it comes. Yep. Attack first. For 12. That's enough. Good games. Wow. Yeah, that was a clinic. It was really, really good to see the fish deck come out of the gates in game 2 as well. That was impressive.
How good was it?
Yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. That was our August Adelaide Eternal Vintage Challenge, and it was just pre the restrictions. But as you can see, you can easily sleeve up any of the decks that you've seen here on the camera. None of them have really been banhammered. It's really just a matter of switching out the third mental misstep for a Spell Pierce, maybe the second mental misstep for a Thought Seize, something like that. And we'll see how the metagame shapes out, hey?
We'll see you at the next one. What have we got next up?
Next up, we have Highlander.
See you then.